All right. Okay. Hey, everyone. Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. Hope you're doing well. It's time for a weekly track roundup where I tell you guys some tracks that have dropped over the past week or so that I had some feelings on. Whether they are positive or negative, they are linked down below, so you can check them out for yourself, along with a link to our Turntable Lab, page. It's an affiliate link. We get kickback from it if you buy some vinyl, turntable stuff, whatever. Check it out. Also, our Patreon page is down below if you want to get some extra bonus monthly content and support us in the process. That would be greatly appreciated. We will have a new Patreon-only Let's Argue out soon, I think. And shout out to our continued sponsor, good people over at The Ridge. Still making these awesome, nifty, minimalist, metal-plated wallets that fit nicely in that front pocket. Hit up that link down below, promo code MELON, 10% off the order. All you gotta know. All right, coming through with the worst tracks of the week, we have a couple. Bam, this new one from the Yeat record, Rackz Got Me, featuring Gunna. It's out now. I'm not going to talk too much about this, as I plan on reviewing this very soon. But I don't know. People are going crazy for this record. But for me, this is just kind of a miss. I'll talk more about why that is, I guess, at some point in the near future. But it is what it is. Following that, we have a new remix of Bad Habits. Ed Sheeran's Bad Habits with Bring Me the Horizon in the mix. It's basically the same awful song, but now with some heavy, chunky guitar sections. It's actually kind of it's actually hilarious hearing the song in this rendition, in my opinion. I mean, a lot of Ed and Bring Me the Horizon fans coming together on this one. That's totally fine. That's cool. But I don't know. It's kind of, I'll say, interesting to hear the song in more of a metalcore style, I guess. All right, let's keep it moving on to the tracks I was met on. Wasn't blown away, but still wanted to point them out because, you might like them a little bit more than me. We have a new one from Vince Staples and Mustard. A bit of a smooth, kind of groovy dance appeal to this one. Mild overall in terms of like tone and performance, but a much better pairing, I think, between these two than one might assume, like on the surface, given, the music they've made in the past. So they gelled. They definitely gelled. We have a couple of new ones, a twofer from Baby Tate, What's Love, and Slut Him Out. Different vibes on each of these tracks. First one has a bit more of a smooth, moody, sensual R&B flavor to it. Second one is a foul-mouthed banger. Oh my God, gargling the kid, spitting him back in his mouth. She's slutting him out. It's like, all kinds of fucking freaky and hilarious. The first of the two tracks is a little bland, and I think the production on Slut Him Out could have gone harder, but Tate's bars on Slut Him Out are nuts. All right, let's move on to this new one from Oliver Tree. The new record is out now, Swing and a Miss. This one's not too bad. I think this is actually one of the better teasers we've heard from this new record. Not going to talk too much about it, though, because my review for the record will be out this week. We have a new one from Kurt Vile, Watch My Moves. The record is on the way. This one over here is one of his more, contemplative, meandering, psychedelic, inner monologue type tracks. It's okay, like Exploding Stones is the title of it. I'm not super nuts about it, but I know this is kind of a mainstay sound and style for him, and the Vile fans may be going nuts. Well, I guess we'll see. We have a new one from Jack Harlow, Nail Tech. The flow and delivery and the horns on this one very much to me feels like he's continuing to ride off of like the Industry Baby vibe a little bit. The bass and perks, I think, are just kind of okay. Not really liking the almost like synthetic vibe that are coming off of those. I'm mixed on the production. He has some interesting bars here and there. Seems like he's in a bit of a in his own head, being suspicious of other people. A little bit of paranoia, kind of like a Drake vibe. A bit of a smidge of Drake on this track, I think, in terms of like the delivery and the energy. He seems like he's like, he's really like feeling his growing profile, and I think this track is really all about that. But yeah, give it a shot. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. We have a new one from Hatchie over here. This one over here, I don't think the tune is the strongest I've heard out of all of these recent singles and everything, Giving the World Away. But it does sound like a lost underground 90s dance gem, and I do appreciate how well Hatchie is able to capture certain vibes and sounds and aesthetics on these recent tracks. So give this one a shot too. We have a new one from Gunna, Banking on Me. Gunna delivers some kind of melodic and sweet flows over a luxurious piano beat. It's got some nice chords and good vibe overall. It's not bad. It's not bad. Not as tedious or mindless as some stuff that was on DS4, but not blowing me away either. It's okay. We have a new one from a Guerilla Toss over here. Famously Alive. Not crazy about this song because sonically, I'll say it sounds like staring right into the fucking sun. Like it burns. It's so bright from front to back, but the lyrics are pretty hilarious. And man, I mean, I got to say the instrumental does sound unique. It's just, God, it's just bright. It's just so dang bright. We have a new one from Future Islands over here. That really passionate, groovy, shoulder swaying synth pop that they do so well. King of Sweden is the name of the cut. Nothing like too new for them or anything, but they're doing it well. They're in their bag. They're doing their thing. I mean, who is doing this shit better than Future Islands right now? It's just kind of Future Islands for Future Islands' sake. So shout out to Future Islands. We have a new one from Fontaines D.C. I Love You. There's not a post-punk band out there that I want to enjoy more in theory than Fontaines D.C. But their tracks always start off pretty fire for me, but then as they continue, there's something about the pacing or the lack of layers or interesting sounds or the vocals not really hitting in the way that I'd like them to, that just leaves me out in the cold a little bit. And as I think as enthralling as the narrative on this track attempts to be, I kind of get that same sensation from this song too. But still, I know there are lots of Fontaines D.C. fans out there. I Love You, new track out now. Give it a shot. All right, we have a new one from Destroyer over here. This one going in a bit of a dance direction. Eat the wine, drink the bread. It's kind of dancey, kind of funky. Dan Behar getting in his little funk groove over here. The instrumental for a dance tune isn't super tight. It does feel a little rickety in a way that is awkward, and there are points where I think maybe Dan is overdoing it a bit too much on the vocals to really give the instrumentation some space to really work its magic, but it is what it is. I mean, every track from this forthcoming record so far has sounded wildly different, so I'm interested to hear how it's all going to come together. We have a new one from Nigo and Kid Cudi, Want It Bad. I mean, not my favorite Kid Cudi tune, and some of the auto-tune on the choruses is a bit much, but I will say this, they definitely channeled something together. I think vocally and vibe-wise, we're getting a bit of an old school Cudi here. This feels almost like a throwback Cudi. This feels like a classic kind of Cudi vibe on the vocal end, especially on the verses. So I would recommend giving it a shot just for that. It's kind of interesting to hear something that feels like is kind of channeling an old energy here a little bit. Let's move on to the best tracks. Flying through, we have a new one from Undeath. Head Splattered in 7 Ways is the title. There are some gnarly riffs on this thing. A really chaotic and noisy ending, and my God, the mix is so fucking thick and crushing. Jesus Christ. It's like a splitting headache. Well, head split and splattered in 7 ways. And yeah, of course, totally murderous lyrics as well. So there you go. We have a new one from Tame Impala, more B-sides, remixes, and everything. This one over here, The Boat I Row, is very mystical. I'm actually liking the vibe on this one quite a bit. I think the instrumental is very pretty, for sure. We have a new one from Silk Sonic, Love's Train. It's a Confunction cover, and it's just more smooth, glamorous, wonderful, golden 70s soul. Give it a listen. Give it a spin. It's a good-ass cover. We have Pupil Slicer over here, crossing over with The Armed on this track a little bit. Thermal Runway. This is some manic metalcore. Insane vocals, wild guitar leads. Pupil Slicer killing it. Totally noisy, just totally frantic, just absolutely insane, off the wall. And it goes the distance, too. It's not a short track either. So, like, you know, really kind of just gives you your money's worth, especially since if you stream this, you'll be paying $0 for it. It's paying you in dividends, I guess. But yeah, give this one a listen. It's nuts. We have a new one from Ibibio Sound Machine from their forthcoming record Electricity, which is produced by Hot Chip. Loving this new track a lot more than the last one. While the Hot Chip production on that track was fine, I felt like a lot of the Afrobeat influences and vibes off of, Ibibio Sound Machine's past records were kind of lost in translation, and bringing that production into the fold. Protection from Evil is the name of this new track. But I feel like the horns and, I guess like the interesting cross-section of like cultural influences coming together on this track really explode into something beautiful and groovy and even slightly aggressive. Like this is a killer freaking track. Liking this one a lot. I can only hope for more tracks like this on this forthcoming LP. That's all I'll say. All right, we have Health and Lamb of God crossing over on this really heavy, pummeling, lengthy industrial metal track. Didn't think Health and Lamb of God combo collaboration could be so good, but Health has been doing a lot of collaborations as of late, and some of them are very unlikely and some of them are very surprising, and I would say this is checking both those boxes right here. This one kicks ass for sure. This one definitely kicks ass. All right, and we have a new one from the Cool Kids. Yes, the Cool Kids are back. Sir Michael Rackz, Chuck English, new record on the way. It's Yours Part 2 is our first taste of it. This one's a banger, futuristic beat, fun bars, fun flows, lots of personality. Just a cool upbeat vibe and lots of character on the production side. And, Chuck and Mike just have a great chemistry still to this day. So, it's a cool single. It's a great track. Give it a listen. Don't miss it. All right, and we have a new one from Black Dresses. The new record is out now. It's a little shorter than their past two releases, but, give it a listen. It's on Bandcamp. What I'm linking here is the opening track to the LP. And this thing is like some really aggressive, deafening noise rap shit. Like, it's nuts. This is absolutely nuts. And it actually reminds me a little bit of the Bandcamp project they broke with, several years ago at this point. It kind of seems like they're bringing things full circle a little bit on this intro cut over here. But yeah, it's a fun listen, absolutely blistering. If you've been messing with what Black Dresses has been doing up until this point, don't see why it wouldn't hit. So there you go. That has been the weekly track roundup. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you got some good recommendations out of this video. And that's it. Remember, all the tracks linked down below. Ridge Wallet, Patreon, Turntable Lab, all that stuff. And I'll see you in the next one. Anthony Fantano, Weekly Tracks, forever.